Oh my goodness, I missed you guys. I just want to throw that out there. And I want to say today is Saturday, September 16th at 8:55 p.m. I am absolutely exhausted and I thought to do the show so that I could keep myself up for a little while. And Xavier, who I was talking to earlier today, decided
Yeah, but
to come and join me for a little while. So, hi everybody. So tonight's
I'm sorry,
show.
guys.
Yeah, you should be sorry,
Yeah,
you know
I'm
how loved you
sorry.
are. You know how loved you are.
Oh, I tickled pink.
So what we're gonna do tonight is the following. I am gonna show some pictures from my trip because I'm a dick that way. And
Yay.
also, I want to talk about a couple of Beth things. Oh, and I'd like to thank a couple of things. I
Okay,
do want to thank
hang
what?
on. Let's address this real quick because
Yeah,
someone's
you
saying
have my
I'm
guitar.
really.
You can play that.
See if I can turn this down a little bit. Okay, let's see.
Do
Hey,
that.
it's one, two, one, two, one, two, one,
One,
two,
two, one, two, one,
one,
two.
two, one, two. Okay, I'm really cranking it down.
All right, do what you need to
One,
do.
two, one, two. Is that still hot?
No, that's actually a little bit better.
Okay, is
Which,
that better?
yeah.
Cool.
Well,
Can I
they'll
put that
tell
little?
us. They'll tell us
Sure,
whether you're better
sure,
or
sure,
not.
sure.
Couple things.
Okay.
I want to thank Bon for taking over the show for a couple of weeks there. I think he did a great job getting everybody together and making sure that the clips were great. I was not able to get serious when I was in Egypt, but I was able to get it in Jordan, where, by the way, I had better service on my T-Mobile than I still do at my house. I also want to thank Mr. Judy Tenuta. Hold on, let me move my wine over.
Is it
Um,
weird that you were in the country where the call centers were, but they're not
yes,
serious?
Beth, you are so lovely. So
Yes.
I got Miss Beth, we love you. I just want to show everybody that Mr. Judy Tenuta sent me in the mail, and I received it when I got home yesterday. The brand new Dan's papers with Howard's alleged watercolor painting on the
Tracing.
front. Um, I have my big girl glasses on because I really just wanted to kind of study it. And you got to know that the photorealism of this, it actually kind of shocks me if this is actually an actual Howard thing. I don't even know how to kind of talk about this because I'm not really sure. Sorry that it's not like focusing in for us right now. I'm not really sure how to process what I think about what this is. Clearly it's a photo that he took and then he did some judicious sketching over it and then watercoloring over that. If anybody saw the watercolor he did of Beth that she took down promptly, you'd know that that's what his real paintings look like. So I don't
Crap.
really. I know, Rooster. All of a sudden, Howard is a brilliant painter.
It's called tracing.
Yes, Mr.
All you
Judy
have to
Tenuta.
do is get like a projector, project it onto any canvas, and just trace it. That's what he probably does.
Well, it's really interesting, Mr. Judy Tenuta and I were talking about this a couple a couple of weeks ago now, about how much we love Vermeer, the painter Vermeer, and how what he used to do is he used to magnify like one mirror off of another mirror onto a screen and then a piece of paper. And then he would sketch everything out. And I totally think that that's what he's
It's
doing.
like kids in high school do that. It's super easy to do.
Yeah, yeah. Well, one would think. Autobot AI. Sorry, I'm very loopy right now. So I literally just showered 2 minutes ago so that I could come on air with you guys and not look like crap. I was thinking of getting the iPhone 15 because I'm still paying off my iPhone 14, but I'm being told like from a couple of different camps that it's not worth buying yet. So I'm not really
Like
sure.
it's a good phone, but it's not margin. It's marginally better than the previous phone. I don't know if it would justify.
Says the Android user. Says the Android
Dude,
user.
my Android will destroy you.
Yeah, I know. But see, mine has like a cute little like white case on the back of it, and it's purple. And it has a
Ooh,
matching little purple case on
ooh, oh,
it.
it's amazing.
I know. It's so cute.
Yes, yes.
So I don't know. I'll have to talk about it with Bon, whatever.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Yeah, my expert.
You know what my phone can do that yours can't?
What?
Survive a fall from like 10 inches.
Yeah, this is true. This is true. And I dropped my phone a lot on this
The,
trip.
the fact that Gorilla Glass has been a thing for at least 10 years and Apple refuses to use that technology because they make $1 trillion replacing screens is absolutely diabolical.
So Autobot, I used to buy my phone outright. Yes, I used to do that. But I lowered the cost of my overall service, and I figured, if I just pay it off and then just get a new one like every 2 years, it's kind of worth it. I'm not even really sure. Honestly, I don't know what I'm doing. Pretty happy with my new phone though, which is new to me because it's a 14 whatever. So let's talk So by the time I got to Jordan, which I will tell you, Jordan over Petra, I mean Jordan over Egypt, 10-1. It's just an amazing, amazing country. Shout out to my boys over there, Fadi and also Zaid, who were the tour guides and driver. They were awesome. And of course, I had to hook them up with coming onto Radio Gunk so they can see what I actually do for a living. So they'll probably listen to this at some point in the near future. So so when I got to Jordan, and I do want to talk about the trip, okay, I really do, but I was listening to some serious shows that I downloaded because I couldn't really stream anything overseas. And I was listening to that special day where Beth told Howard about going to Paris. So I'm really curious about it. Like, I'm really curious about um, that trip and who she's going with. Did you guys talk about that at all, X?
We did. We just skimmed over it. Just a tip.
That's it. Did you talk about who we're thinking she might be going with? Like, do we know?
Like I said, we just skimmed over it. I think it's a total of like 5-10 minutes, if that.
Oh, well, okay. So let's play a little. I did do some clips today. I did like 6 clips, and I thought they were all like relevant to what I wanted to talk about. And then once we're done with that, we go to Egypt. Yes. But we're gonna wait on that. I mean, I can't imagine anybody cares about my trip, but you know what? I just felt like coming on because I didn't want to go to sleep too early. So here we are. Okay, 2 things I wanted to talk about. Here's the first thing. Here we go.
Yeah.
I don't like chores.
Beth made all these notes around the house of shit I had to do because she was leaving. And I'm like, honey, she goes, are you paying attention? Do you know what you have to do? You have to feed Bella chicken at 3 o'clock, and then you have to open up this can and you have to change the water on this one's can. And but I go, I don't know. What are you saying? She goes, all right, I'll write it all down.
All right, you tell me who lives in a house that has animals, who has never had to like feed their cat or put fresh water into their bowl. Like, how is it that one needs to take notes on how to take care of what could amount to being the easiest animal known to mankind besides like, well, not even rabbits, but cats? Like, I'm not understanding how complicated it is. Yes, exactly. He makes feeding pets seem so complicated. You put out some cans and you put out some water. Tamara Francois, I'm going next summer. So yes, I want to hear. Oh my God, I'm so excited to tell you about it. I really, really am. No, I did not grow up with plastic covers on my furniture. I actually had like really shitty furniture. We talked about the Gindaloons who had plastic covers. Dennis grew up with parents who had plastic covers. And yes, it is possible to go to sleep too early because the last thing I want to do is be up at 3:00 in the morning, and I have to pick up my dog over at doggy boot camp at 12 tomorrow. So
Woof, woof.
I want to be excited and ready for that. Hey, here I am waiting on you.
Oh, you were gone?
Oh, I didn't even seem to miss you. Where were you? I was just sitting here eating
I'm gonna be over
Velveeta.
here sniffing Fifi's ass.
I'm eating a Velveeta on the couch with Jordan.
Cheese puffs.
Okay, so yeah, notes around the house. It was like really driving me crazy. Here he is talking about Dan's papers. And Xavier and I were discussing this today. Why okay, hang on, let me play it and then we'll go to
Beth
First of
went
all-
into the city
on.
Saturday, and I was all alone. But Ross invited himself over to my place for dinner. We had dinner Saturday night.
Ross invited himself over to my place for dinner.
Homo.
So why would Ross invite himself over to Howard's place for dinner? Nobody
Very-
goes to Howard's place without being invited there, which makes me think that Ross's
Exactly.
wife was one of the chicks that went out into the city, because there's absolutely no way that the Ross would invite himself over for
Sissy.
dinner. And he talks about it as if he didn't just do like an hour and a half long interview with Ross when he was over for dinner, right?
Myself and Ross. That was nice. It was good to
nice.
see him.
Why was it good to see him? You just saw him.
Hung
you
out with
literally
him.
Just saw him.
And then Sunday, I went and visited my mom.
And we'll talk about that in a second. What were you going to say, Xavier?
He's so full of crap. He acts like his house is like that McDonald's at Times Square where just people just pop in and
Yeah, they just pop in, right?
Yeah,
Unmasked, not vaccinated, whatever, just unmasked and just walk on in. Yeah, that doesn't happen. That doesn't happen anywhere. Wait, let me finish this clip though. Here we go.
That was a whole saga. I don't know if you want to hear about that. I don't even know that I feel like talking about it, but she's doing okay. I brought her a copy of Dan's Papers. I'm on the cover of Dan's Papers. It's a local magazine in the Hamptons. It's one of my paintings. I always give them artwork for this is my fourth cover.
So it's not your photograph. It's,
no, it's a painting I
okay.
did.
Okay.
That I like doing. My painting's on the cover of a magazine. I'm honored by that. And
could you be any more basic? Literally, the other 3 covers that he did is literally like the dunes in front of his house, the dunes down the road from him, and like a tree.
So bourgeois.
A tree and a hill. It's very,
so
very
bourgeois, bro.
It's very, very weird. Okay, let me finish.
And I gave that to my mother. Oh, this is very, very nice. She gets nervous whenever I bring anything because she doesn't know where to put things. She goes, where am I going to put that? I go, Mom, well, we got some options. Maybe we'll put this on your coffee table.
So who needs to exactly see Howard's art on Dan's Papers at a 96-year-old woman's house who gets no visitors other than her immediate family and the people that wipe her ass? I mean, and I say that with all due respect to Ray, but you know what I'm saying.
Well, they could use it to wipe her ass.
But like Benjamin, he brags about Dan's Papers like I brag about my comments here. Well,
yeah.
I just don't understand. I mean, first of all, it's a huge paper. And he goes on to say that he also brought 2 fully framed pieces of art to his mother's house as well. And yeah, I'm just not really understanding what's going on with Ray. Apparently she's on morphine and all kinds of crap. I can't even imagine that a cogent conversation is to be had with this woman anymore, let alone the fact that she needs to have the Dan's Papers there so that he can like low-key humble brag about the fact that he's like doing this artwork. So I'm not really understanding that. Okay, so then I wanted to go into Beth. Not really, but you know what I'm saying. And I know you guys had this conversation about her flying off to Paris, but I really just wanted to touch on it for a second. It's just very weird, the whole dynamic. And as you had said, Xavier, once the parents both go, Beth is going to be like the total target for every
1000%.
Everything he hates, everything that
the burden that she is financially to him. Like we've already seen, like that door has creaked open a little already. like he kind of reminded her on air that basically she's, in French they would call her la petite. She brings nothing to the table, and he's already kind of reminded her, like, I do everything for you. So once
We're talking
mom
about Beth,
kicks it-
right?
yeah, once mom kicks it, bro, it's game on.
Well, not only is she inarticulate, but as we have said many times before, she's intellectually incurious. And I don't even really know how to say that right, because I know I say it stupidly and
think,
differently every
honestly,
time I say it. But
to bring it down to just a basic couple of words, she's materialistic. That's all there is.
no, I know, but
She's pure materialistic. There's nothing underneath the paint if you scratch it.
it's taken me years to realize how dumb she really is. Like, I have another clip. I wasn't going to go to it yet, but this is her talking about how mad she is at Howard, and she can't even really get the words out. She can't really articulate what it is she's trying to say. I just found it really weird.
Because I'm nervous.
We're going to get COVID.
I go, we're going to get COVID.
And I know that that's just a reaction
Doesn't everybody's sphincter just pucker when you hear that voice?
to me
Dude,
having
Yeah.
plans with you without you on Saturday.
Wrong. You're wrong.
Plans with my girlfriends without you. You immediately have to ruin it for me. We're going to get COVID. That's an attack. That's not, honey. I was so mad at you.
See, I'm just curious. Like, is he like giving her like the stink eye at this point? Is he saying to her like, don't talk about something, because she like switches out really weirdly at this point? And then of course, she has nothing else to say.
Strangle you right now. I love you so much. I'm so mad at you.
She defaults. Do you hear that like emergency break?
Yes.
Where she goes, "I love you so much," because like she's terrified of really like pissing him off, because she's got nothing without him. Nothing.
Yes. Terrified. I love you so much, but I hate you. I absolutely cannot stand you. I'm trying really hard not to curse during. I made myself a promise not to curse, but
she's beholden to his finances.
oh my God,
She's
yes.
beholden to what he created as far as a celebrity. That
Yes,
is
agreed.
the only thing she cares about is material things and being around famous people. That's
Well,
it.
you know what? It's good to be the queen. I mean, I guess it's good to be able to know that you at very least have material things to kind of.
Here's the thing though. This is just, I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. She's been around enough, like Jimmy Kimmel's and their wives, and famous people and their wives, to see how those other wives live. Like, they get the money, they get the hobnob with the famous people, but they also get to do other stuff. Like, they get to travel, they get to do things one percenters do. Beth, on the other hand, at least on the surface, because we don't know what really goes on behind closed doors, she is in the gilded cage, and she knows it now at this point. So
I think people like Jessica Seinfeld, is that her name, Jessica? No. Is that her name, Jessica?
Probably, whatever.
They're low key super wealthy. You know what I mean? Like, you don't see them all on like red carpets. You don't see them, flashing their bags and their
but you know what?
rings. They don't seem as materialistic as she is.
But 100%, like, let's just stick with Kimmel. She gets to go to those after parties at the Oscars. She gets to go to a lot of stuff that Beth thought she was getting when she signed up. Yeah. It's and for no real reason, honestly, at this point, other than she had to go along with this dude that never wants to really work again. So she has to toe the company line. It's like, whatever. These are all theories.
These are all just theories. Okay, so let's talk about her flying private. Let me play that clip and then we'll talk about it. Oh, can I? Hang on.
What am I doing to you?
What did you announce to me over about a week ago? Where are you going without me? Tell Robin.
I was invited.
You tell Robin, because we're not, we don't have any viewers. We don't have anybody listening to it. But just do a little one-on-one with Robin, because she's the only one who cares about
to Paris with a couple girlfriends. And I'm going.
Oh,
What?
whose side are you
Okay.
on?
Oh, wait a minute, Howard.
by the way, you-
Howard. You have a
The most romantic cities. in
Can
the-
you believe I'm doing that to him, Robin?
Can you believe?
Okay, I'm sorry. They're married how many years now? 20?
Something like that.
21? They together like 25 years?
whatever.
They're together 25 years. Okay, think about this. 25 years, you're married to a half a billionaire, and he has never taken you to Paris, not even for like a weekend. Like he's never taken you. And I only say this solely because he is such a wealthy man and could do whatever he wants whenever he wants for as long as he wants. And he has never taken it. But now that she's going with
he
the
has
friends,
all the
he's
time in the
jealous.
world.
All the
They have
time.
all the time in the world. You could literally, like on a Wednesday afternoon,
Jet off.
6 hours later, you're in Paris, spend a couple of days, come back, and you can even start the show later if you wanted to.
They
There's
could,
nothing-
yes, John Doe. They could fly to Paris for lunch. They could literally say, screw it. Let's just do something.
Yeah.
Let's just do something
100%.
crazy. Go to Paris. And you know what? You can't use the COVID excuse, by the way, which was getting me nauseous how much he was talking about that. But forgetting about COVID, which is only in the last 3 years, you still haven't done anything like that. You haven't done anything like that. And it's really, it's kind of pathetic.
And,
So
and
hang
not
on.
only that, it's like Paris is one of those cities where the airport, Charles de Gaulle, is like
Right
25
there.
minutes by subway. It's literally
Subway.
just-
You're so
there's
cute.
n-
Subway. So cute.
a train or whatever. I know. Listen. I know he's a 1%er. He'd do like a limo or whatever the hell they use, car service. But what I'm saying is, there's literally no reason to not do it. It's like
There is no reason.
easiest. It's the easiest city to get. London is my God. Heathrow's like 1 trillion miles away from downtown London. It takes forever. But
But you
Paris
can
is
still
like
take the
easy.
train within like 45 minutes to an hour. You know that. I mean, it's just super easy.
It's super easy.
Yeah. Okay, let's continue.
Believe what she's
Right,
doing to me?
I had no idea what
How
you were talking-
horrible. How horrible. No.
Listen, I'm happy.
Howard.
Let me say something. Hold on, Robin, before you jump down my throat.
First of all, my friend she's very fortunate that she has a private plane, and so that
Hang on. She's here. She's here. This is what she's saying. She has a private plane. That's why she wants to go. Listen to her.
and so that in itself is, I'm not going to be
That's why she wants to go. Because she's getting to go on a private plane. I'm dying to know who it is that's actually going there.
I'm pretty sure like 1 or 2 of her animals were flown in on a private jet at one point or the other. So what? So now a private jet's is a motivator for her?
You know what? If I had a friend with a private plane who invited me to Paris, hells yes, I would go. I mean, how can you not? But it's just funny to me. Miss speaks 5 languages and speaks French fluently because she knows how to order, cheese in a French restaurant, is going. And this is,
Bro, she's
oh, I like the Billy Joel's wife thing. Is this true? Is it? Please tell me. I need to know more. I need to know more on that because I'll definitely dig into that. I love that. Yeah, I know, Jared. You can use the COVID excuse, Mo. My mom was so proud. I'm just saying that, he can use that as an excuse today, but what was his excuse for the last, 17 or 18 years? Fear of what? Fear of what?
He's just lazy, bro.
No, it's not. No, he's not lazy, babe. He's just scared. He's very much the introvert that you wouldn't
Well,
actually think is, I think.
You bring up a good point because you're saying that, and then this is a guy who's coming across like I'm a painter now. I'm so deep, but
Yes.
and so what, you just gonna paint everything within a mile radius of your house?
That's what he's doing. Yes, that's exactly what he's doing.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, wait. Let me just finish the clip really quickly. It's only a couple seconds.
I'm not going to be
You're
an
not
airport. I'm
getting
not going to
into
be
an
commercial flying.
airport, all that.
Going
right.
straight
That-
with my
I'm not-
small group of girls.
I'm not talking about that.
Yeah, you are talking about that. He's actually so jealous about it that he, this is like a long clip, but it was really driving me insane. And let's listen to it. Oh, Tamara, do you speak French? I talked to her and she wouldn't. No, of course she wouldn't. It was kind of like everybody, speaking in Arabic where I was. You might as well have been the, Korean manicure chick, talking about how fat that chick's ass is, because I had no idea what they were talking about. All right, let me play this a little bit.
I'm talking about the fact that Paris is the most romantic city in the
Oh.
world. And
Another
You're
city
really
you've
confusing
never
me.
seen. You've never seen
I've
because you've
never
never
been-
bothered to go there.
Do you see his pattern, Robin? As soon as I
Oh,
say I'm
yeah.
doing something, it's now about me not
Yeah.
taking him, not about COVID. It's about him not going with me to the most
That
romantic
voice.
city
well,
in the world.
I have
Right.
plans.
I know.
I have plans for
This
when
is
you
what
go
he
to
does
Paris.
too. This is what he said when I said I'm going to Paris.
You know what I
Listen to what he says.
well, here's what happened. She says to me, listen, I was invited to go to Paris with my friend. My friend is going to visit her child in Paris, and another friend or two are coming, and it's going to be girls, and it's only going to
Yeah.
be for 3 or 4 days, and I'm going to go see
Sounds
Paris.
like fun. Right.
So my first thought was like, oh,
Absolutely, CMJ. Email me at radiogunk@gmail.com. I'll do whatever you want.
fuck. Like,
Oh, really?
I
I'm
don't
going to
know.
be alone.
I'm going to be alone,
Yeah, I
and
know
my
your
wife's
sister.
leaving me.
That's right,
Yeah.
Beth. That's
Well,
exactly
listen,
what it
I-
was. Like, how
I didn't
dare
get
she
married
leave
to be
me?
alone. Anyway,
I didn't
the
get
point
married
I'm
to be
making
alone.
is that
I didn't get married to be alone.
It's always about him, Ed.
Of course, it's about him, Ed. And then after that, he doubles down and he starts talking about his mom later on in that particular show, and just kind of thinking through what Ray would say about Beth leaving him. So it's very, very passive aggressive. It's just kind of weird how it went there. No, Noelle Eclair is in like Oregon at some like beef fat farming plant. Don't ask what I have no idea what I'm talking about, but something like this. Yeah, he is frighteningly codependent, frighteningly. And you know what? She's after COVID, she's really realizing how horrible it is to be with him. It's kind of crazy. So let's hear. Yeah, go ahead, babe.
No, is it typical for codependents to, like, he is more of like he feels the need to control people's lives, is what it seems like. I don't think he gives a crap about her as far as like, you and me make 3. It's more about like I need to control you. I need to tell you where you need to be at all times.
Because he can't be alone. I mean, it's so much of that. He was a mama's boy, and he, was coddled by, his mother for his entirety of his life. And, and Beth and Allison to some extent were just mommy replacements. That's it.
Yeah.
So, okay, let's listen to a little passive aggressiveness. And I'm almost done. I literally have one more clip after this.
I'm afraid to tell my mother Beth's going to Paris without me.
I'm
Oh.
afraid
might
to
kill
tell
her.
her.
Why?
What? I'm not going to tell my mother
It might kill her.
70-year-old
What
man.
I
will
would
she think
never-
of that?
because
Telling a
I would
96-year-old.
never ever have left your father. What do you mean Beth is going to Paris? And you're not going? No, Mom. If Howard's father went to Cuba, I'd throw him right out of the house. And for Beth to go to Paris, well,
This is actually sad.
I'm sorry for you.
Oh.
I'm sorry for you. Thank you, Mom. Believe me,
Crazy.
nothing good happens in Paris. Right, Mom. What's
know
she
how
going to
horrible,
do
fake
there?
laugh.
Well, she's going to go with her girlfriends and her girlfriends, a married woman running around. I mean, what is that?
So jealous. So
You don't get
this is
married to go with your friends
sad.
anywhere.
You don't get married to go with your friends anywhere.
We're talking about a 70-year-old man and a 50-year-old wife.
Talking to his 96-year-old mother.
96 years. This is sad, bro. This is like a weird Twilight Zone episode, and we're trying to figure out how it ends. It
It's
really is.
bizarre. And it is going to come to an end. Yes, John Doe, manipulative, controlling, envious, and cruel. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And you know what? Beth sold her soul to that. She sold her soul
But
for a couple of Hermes.
That's why I think last year when he called her an investment, that's the
Mhm.
most honest thing he has said on radio in 20 years. Because
Yeah.
in fact, he did try to get her career. He did want to be married to like a Jennifer Aniston type. He did want her to be like the envy of everybody else. And she's failed. Listen to her voice. Her voice is a personification of pissing glass. It is absolutely, it's how anybody can look at her and think she was anything other than a party girl. Hey, and I'm sure she was probably a pretty good party girl. But as far as having a modicum of talent, bro, not even close.
Yeah, but you know what his thinking was is that, in his eyes, she was the most beautiful woman he had ever been with. Again, in his eyes. So his thinking was, she's star material. She's so sweet. She's so wonderful. She's so good to people. Yes, I'm drinking Thunderbird. Yes, that's exactly what I'm drinking.
But she's a like Babe Ruth quality manipulator. She totally bamboozled him.
But you know what? Good for her.
When we were first getting the whole tidbits of the relationship and like they would go to bed at 6, eat dinner at 3,
Yeah.
and others, we kind of thought, okay, that's bull crap. But I think he bought it. I think he was like sincere when he thought this was going to be his life moving forward. And then once she got the ring, it's like, oh, well, Beth was out last night at a red carpet. She was at a premiere for a movie, this and that. And it's just like, bro, you got the prenup, but she got to, do the hell she wants. And now that he's just a curmudgeon, I mean, he can't afford to have her just take off on him.
Yeah, he's going to be he will not shut up about it when she goes. And shockingly, I'd be very surprised if she does go. Like I'd be shocked.
I think she's going to go.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't she? I mean, come on. It's not really that big of a deal.
Because it's September, October, November, December, January. She's supposed to go in January. He's got 3.5 months, probably almost 4 months to bitch at her and beat her down about it.
See, I missed the date. So she's going in January?
I think so. Yeah.
It's cold as hell in Paris.
I know. Nobody wants it. Nobody
Who
goes
the
to
hell
Paris
goes in January?
Nobody
Go
goes
in
to Paris
spring, bro. Fall. We're in fall. Go now.
But she's not going. And you're right. Why would you plan it like 4 months out like that? It's just kind of weird.
But it's like a horrible. But yeah, it's not like you're picking a
people with a private plane. It's just like, let's go next weekend. It's September.
Exactly.
The weather is still beautiful. Let's go.
Idiotic. Something else is. What's going on in Paris in January?
I don't know.
Something's up. That can't just be hey, let's go in January. It's a horrible time to go.
I don't know. I even tried to check and see whether Seinfeld's daughter is like doing an internship in Paris or
something.
If somebody's doing something at one of the Parisian art schools or something like that. I don't know. All right, and then my final clip I wanted to talk about, which just drives me insane. I mean, it was small. I'm sure you guys talked about it. I have not listened back to any of the shows. I'm sorry about that, but here, just listen to this.
From you, how are you going to do that? Exactly. Where are you?
She's talking about basically the fact that she was going to be out both Saturday and Sunday this weekend, and that on Monday he had Demi Lovato, so he wanted her to she was going to quarantine from him in their house in the city, and this is what he had to say about that.
Where are you in the apartment? The apartment's not that big.
Goodness.
It's a nice size apartment, but it ain't that big, and we eat
You'll probably
together.
pass each other at some point.
Are you kidding me? It ain't that big. It's one of the largest apartments. It's like 7,000 or 8,000 square feet in Manhattan. It spans 2 floors. You bought 2 additional apartments to merge together with your already gigantic apartment. It has a minimum of 4 or 5 bedrooms on 2 different floors. And you're saying your apartment's not that big. Like, Are you out of your mind? Oh, by the way, shout out to whoever it is you posted that YouTube video that somebody
That's
gave us
me.
credit for those for the pictures of Howard's house. I love that. I would like to thank that person for actually giving credit where credit is due.
Oh yeah, it's that was pretty funny. I posted that, and it took me a minute to realize that we were getting credit, although that should have been Gary Puppet credit. But yeah,
That's oh, I do want to talk about that for a second too.
yeah.
I do want to talk about Gary Puppet really, really quickly, and now would probably be a good time to talk about it before.
You're aware that we did a little thing, right?
No, I am not aware.
We did at least 20 minutes just talking about how wonderful Gary has been to us, the fans, and the content he has provided, and the misery that he created for Howard. So
Yeah, so at this point I will talk about it because you know what? If somebody tells me differently, then I am more than happy to take it back and eat my words and never speak of it again. So what happened was about 2 months ago, I guess it is now. For some reason, I got kicked back an email, and hold on, I will read it to you. I don't really think I can throw it up on the thing. Sometimes emails kick back to me for some reason, and I don't know why it happens. Maybe because whoever they're replying to, their email doesn't work or something like that. But usually it goes into my junk mail and I just delete it, and who even really cares? So, so somebody on our site, I guess, was checking in on Gary Puppet, and you guys, if you know, you follow us or you follow a show or whatever, you know exactly who he is. And she was reaching out just to see how he was doing, whatever. And I get back a email, not from her, the girl who was reaching out to Gary Puppet, and nor did I know who it was from. But give me a second because I'm going to pull it up right now. So a lot of people kind of reached out to me in PM saying, I talked to Gary and blah, 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 blah. And his phone isn't working, and I don't know what to do about it. So let me see if I can. So I wrote to one of the girls. I said, I got this weird message in my inbox and I didn't know what to say about it. And here's what it says. It says, somebody wrote to him saying, you okay? You've been missing in action. Are you well? I know you've been through a difficult time with affection. And the response back was, sad to say, he passed away unexpectedly, period. Matthew's dad. So that was the email that I got. And I don't really know anything other than that. And then to find out that Matthew was his real name. And so that apparently was from his dad. And yeah, that's what I know. And I don't know if I do know anything, because I tried to look up people with that first name who, may have passed in the last 2 months or whatever. And I didn't see anything. I know Xavier looked a little bit, and I didn't really tell anybody else about this other than the person who had initially reached out. And, she even said, I didn't get that reply. I have no idea what that is. So yeah, so I think that our Gary Puppet may have passed away, and I don't know for sure, but I figured I might as well throw it out there. And if he hasn't, and God, if he comes back next month, I'll be super thrilled. And the thoughts of my death, the talk of my death isn't greatly exaggerated or whatever.
That would be awesome if he made us all look like assholes.
Exactly. I'm okay to look like an asshole.
I would so be happy.
I can't look up his obituary. The one thing we take pride in at Radio Gunk is people's privacy. So I don't, even after we
Yeah.
do like Secret Santas or something, I will ask you again for your address the next year because I throw it away. And, people that donate to us, most of that uses people's real names. And, if you don't tell me, hey, this is from, Gary Puppet, I wouldn't know, who you are on my site. And I don't even care. So no, I know nothing about him. I know nothing about his last name, nothing. So I had no idea how to look it up.
Yeah,
But
we mean it when we say we don't want to know who you are, guys. I mean, it's just like from all the previous boards and stuff with the doxing and all this other nightmare scenarios that have happened to people. When we started this, like, hey, we don't care who you are. We're glad you're here. And even like when people PayPal us from time to time, it's like, just don't tell us who you are on the board. We have no idea who you are.
and we're cool that way. But
and
sadly, the only way
the
we
down-
would know is if something like this happens.
Yeah, exactly. That's
so
the one downside of this.
It is the one downside. Yeah. But yeah, that's the case. And if it's not true, I'm thrilled. But if it is, such is life.
Absolutely.
So on that happy note, let's
You know what? Gary at one point made everybody on almost every forum he was on laugh. And that's a rare gift to make people laugh, even for a quick ha. That takes you away from the minutia of your life for a second. And that man was a savant when it came to that silliness. And I hope to see him again. Hope we all get to see him and hear from him again. And if not, just thank you, man. Thank you for all you did.
Yeah, I mean, obviously he could be a little creepy. He could, want to see your boobs every single time he PM'd you.
Would it have killed you? Would it have killed you?
Well, you know what I mean. I mean, yeah. So
I know.
Yeah. So if in fact our Gary is no longer with us, we say
I'm eating Benjamins. It's hard to make camel jokes during a goddamn death dedication.
Listen, you know what? What do they always say when somebody passes away? The best thing you can absolutely do for them is to still speak of them, right? So, maybe one day we'll do a tribute to him, and we will speak to it. We never really knew whether he was like putting us on or whatever, or if it was a joke or
one of the, here, if I can just interject, when I first started talking to Monique, one of the first things she tells me is, hey, what's up with this Gary Puppet guy? We all have a theory that he looks like Brad Pitt and he's just putting on a show.
Yeah.
Like, literally, that's one of the first things she ever told me.
Yeah, and it's true because you always thought that it had to be shtick to say I'm so lonely, I'm a virgin, I'm this, I'm that, and perhaps a flash of remembrance. So yeah, I that's what I know. So I wanted to wait until I got back from my stupid trip to tell you guys that. I wasn't even really sure we were going to bring it up tonight, but nonetheless, here we are. And yeah, that's what I got. So maybe we'll throw a thread up or do an addendum to the thread that we had up there. And he sent me, wait, what, Pibble Girl? He sent me and another girl a video. He was hung. What?
There you go.
What?
Excuse me while I whip this out.
These people know more than I saw a picture of him. He was not ugly. I never saw
me a picture when he was a kid. And he was a cute kid.
I've never seen
a cute kid. I mean, he looked just like typical beach, Southern California kid is what he looked like. So,
yeah. Okay. So yeah, see, I was the other girl. She's right. Look at this. Pibble and Nibbler are both talking about how he sent them a jerk off video.
If that's the case, I hope he had an organ donor card filled out so someone less fortunate could get that
That's right. That's right. All right. So, yeah, with that in mind, rest in peace, Gary, aka Matthew. Yeah.
Let's not bury him yet. I still, I know. I don't know. I hope he just shows up.
I hope she's not. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So, let's go to Egypt, shall we?
He had a nice sweater.
Let's go to Egypt, everybody. So, this is a dream trip. I am very, very lucky and blessed to have been able to go on this trip. It has been in the planning stages since last year, November. I was a tech on to this trip, and I am thrilled to have gone. I am going to go. I'm going to throw this out there and tell you guys that, you know, obviously going to Northern Africa and going to the Middle East, I think is still be a kind of scary thing. You know, there's people with the guns at doors everywhere. I mean, I think on my way home, I went through 4 checks to get to the gate to go home, and every one of them, every single place, I was patted down, and it was a little bit weird. Um, I will say though that the one thing that I learned on this trip, because it was a really good trip to kind of, talk to people, and I mean people from all over in both places. I went to Egypt and I went to Jordan. And Sunflower Dragon. It's okay, X. Gary Puppet went to a farm in upstate New York with no
Damn.
Wi-Fi. And there's other Gary Puppets there for him to like talk to and watch you porn together, and it's just lots of fun. Okay, so yeah, so what I was going to say is that I have always prejudged Muslim people. I'm not joking, and it's because I don't really know too many, and I've always judged, and I'm going to be really super honest with you. I think that I'm kind of really wrong on the assessment. In speaking to the people there, you realize that they consider like ISIS, Taliban, all of these like crazy ass sects to be gangs. That's what they call them, gangs. And everybody calls them that.
Yo.
Yeah, exactly. And they get recruited at young ages, especially kids who have really nothing's going on in their lives and stuff like that. And
Join us. We have Roth IRA.
And so, okay, so yeah, and I would like to just publicly go out there and say, not all Muslims are the same, and there are bad sects, and there are great people, and I just got to see the best of what they had to offer. Because deep down inside, everybody just wants to be happy. They just want to live their lives. Nobody wants to live that you have to go through like security screenings to go into a store. It just kind of sucks. So yeah. All right. So
Hang on, Farmer Justice. I've lived in Florida for over a year. How much more south do I need to go?
Such hate in his heart for white rednecks.
Yeah, I've kind of been to almost all the states at this point, bro. What about you? Where have you been?
I like Farmer Justice.
Oh, did I just do a Gary Delabate?
You kind of did.
I kind of did.
Did.
So hang on. Stupid.
Oh, harder. Okay, so day 1 after landing, there's lots of stuff I would do differently on this trip. If it was mine to plan, I would have done things differently. However, since I flew there and got there at like 10 o'clock in the morning, why not go to the Museum of Egyptology as my first thing? Sadly mistaken, because my flight was like an hour between flights because I transferred out of Istanbul and they lost my luggage. And so I didn't have any clothing for the first 2 days. Thank God I always travel with like a extra pair of underwear, a t-shirt, and I had shorts because I knew that it was going to be hot there. So I had something to wear that next morning. And then the tour chick took me to a store to buy a couple of like loose fitting dresses, and I'm like, God, these things are so ugly, and I wound up wearing them the entire trip, and they were like $30 together. Okay, so this is Yuya and Thuya, and and again, you guys can like knock out of this whenever you want to. I don't really give a shit, but some people wanted to see this stuff. So Yuya and Thuya, I I guess there's some of the more recent gold masks, funerary masks that have been found, and you can see some of the detail in them here. And yeah, this is just kind of cool shit from day one. That's all I'm showing you. Sorry.
Sorry,
What?
Hooper. Sorry, Hooper. I might be late for the leave cleanup. Sorry.
Yeah. So here's
But no refunds.
Yeah, here's Yuya, and this is one of the few mummies that you're actually able to take pictures of, because most of the mummies are not on display. But check him out with his blonde hair, so cute. And so the thinking is because he had like this yellow hair, which they did dye, that he was not actually a real Egyptian. And I knew the history on it, but I just can't remember it. And here's Thuya. So this is the female. And common practice was that they would actually shave their hair off, all the way to the back, like you see here. And they would shave it right to the back, and they would put like a nice little band in their hair right here and keep the front fairly bald like that. So that is a very common practice. But it's also very rare to find these mummies that have all the hair and stuff like that.
That's crazy.
I know, right?
That's crazy, yeah.
I just tried to do the interesting photos of this trip. Okay, so this is part of the Tutankhamun exhibit. They are moving museums shortly, so a lot of the stuff is going to be going. So a lot of the Tut stuff is behind glass, a separate room, and you can't really take pictures in there. So this is the best I could do. So these are just like body pieces that they did. As you know, he died. He was very, very young.
14.
They married him off very young, and a lot of intermixing of the families and such. I thought this was just a cool picture. This is just one of his funerary sarcophagus, and whatever. Okay, this is like amazing to me. So this is one of the most best kept wooden sculptures that there is there. And this dude looks so real. I thought it was kind of crazy. The face is so like super realistic. So they use glass in the eyes. I mean, it was just so well done. It's just like perfection. And they used to do these apparently all the time, but most of them obviously didn't survive. They even threw in the double chin. I thought that was phenomenal. Okay, this is the view from my hotel. I'm stunned and amazed to see the pyramids up close. Honestly, not gonna lie. And yeah, just cool. So
did you carve your names onto it like that one cat?
I
at
think
the Coliseum?
I think he'd get in a lot of trouble for that.
Did you put Mo and Reacher heart?
TL forever, yes.
Yes.
So here's the Great Pyramid. Now, here's the thing. The key for this portion of the trip, because there's a lot of people, obviously, I mean, the place gets super fucking crowded. Oh, I didn't want to curse. Damn it. Gets super crowded. So the key was to get there super early. So now, don't forget that this is the t-shirt and shorts that was in my backpack, and this is all the clothing I own at this point. But I'm going to take a picture in front of that pyramid before a single human being is there. And that's what I did. So got there super early. It was right down the road, and I was able to take pictures. But only 150 people are allowed to go into the pyramid itself and go to the tomb. And it's one of the only pyramids where the tomb is up and not down. And this isn't even actually the opening for how to get in. It's all the way back here. It's let me see. Yeah, it's this little hole right here. That's how you get in. And then you climb up from there. So we're like, oh, cool. We get to go into the pyramid. We're one of those 150 people today. However, this is what it looked like. It was hell, you guys. Seriously. And it had to be about 100 degrees in there. There's no ventilation. There's nothing. And it shocks you to realize that somebody actually built this. It's just
insane. And keep in mind, there was no like light back then.
Nothing.
And you think, well, they use torches. There's no like that. If you use torches, there would be like that carbon buildup on the sides or whatever. There's nothing. It's weird as hell how they did this.
This is it just boggles one mind. And somebody said, maybe it was even Pellel, I'm not even sure who it was, who said that Cleopatra is closer in timeline to us than to when this pyramid was built 4,000 years ago.
It's a long time ago.
So this is the Great Pyramid. So you have to go up. This is basically a walkway, and it's steep, and it's hot, and it's insane. Then you get to a clearing, which is where I was able to stand up. And then as far as the eye can see, this is all the stairs. There's not even stairs. It's just still ramping. And you just go all the way up. And, I wasn't mentally prepared for this on day one. I gotta be honest with you. I was just like, see, there's somebody else climbing up right there. I mean, it was
Look
insane.
how tight those joints are, though.
Yeah.
It's insane.
You can't even put a piece of paper between those joints.
That is insane.
Can't even put a piece of paper.
For what they had back then.
Yeah. Yeah. All to get to here. And we're all like, that's it? That's it?
Was there a sarcophagus there at one point or anything?
That is the sarcophagus. That's just the leftover. By the way, these are portable air conditioners. None of them were on. It was hot as balls.
Oh, there's no outlets? You crazy woman.
This guy from like Germany kind of like almost passed out. He was on the floor. He was waiting for somebody to get like some water for him because it was really kind of torturous. It was really, really was. So he
did not see that coming.
He did not see that coming. No. All right. So let's move on. Let me see what else I got. Oh, okay. So here's the Sphinx. So it's gated off. I mean, you really can't get in there or anything. And apparently what the going thought is that this was just like sand erosion that they then decided to create a Sphinx out of because there already was all this erosion going on there. So they built the paws and they put the head on top of it. Yes.
Because there's paintings of like Napoleon there, and it's just like it's all sand.
Well, it's up to here because it was all So as they started to kind of take it down, you could see where it was just basically erosion. And by the way, this thing isn't really that big, and I'm sad that I can't really give you perspective on it. I don't know. Let me see my next picture. No, I don't have it. But yeah, it's kind of small. It's kind of like when you see the Mona Lisa for the first time, you're like, holy shit, that's small. It's really kind of small. It's bizarre, but you're not allowed in it and you're not allowed to even go near it. So we just pulled over in the travel van. And okay, I love this question about vibes, but we're going to come back to that when we get there. Hang on. Okay. So yeah, so this was really cool to see. Actually, almost more so than to see the Great Pyramids. And then after that, where was this? Shoot, I don't even know where. I'm not really sure where I was. I'd have to look at my schedule of events for that day. But yeah, the way these walls were done, they were super, super polished. And the tour guide is actually the one who took this picture of me because it's so shiny here. Look how shiny these walls are. And so that was how you were greeted going into this temple because you wanted to, feel that like the sun and everything was just kind of shining down upon you. Okay, this is Sakara. This is the oldest pyramid that they have discovered. And it's also called the Step Pyramid. So we got to go inside of that as well. And this is where I really felt really weird. So went in there and there wasn't really a lot to see in there, but there was a tomb and it was like down this like pit. And I started to have this like weird shortness of breath. Like I couldn't even breathe in there. And I was like, I gotta get out.
Yeah,
Like I
like
couldn't even
mummy's
stay.
curse and stuff like that.
I couldn't even stay in there. Like it felt like, when you feel like you're in a place where a lot of people have died, that's what it felt like. It just felt like a lot of people had died there. And you know what? They don't know. They don't know shit about what happened in these pyramids. They know nothing, because every single pyramid and tomb and temple, every single one is telling the exact same story. It's telling the story about how this person is going to meet meet the other world and then come back. That's all it's about. Brendan Fraser there. So it's all about that, and everything is the same. And so there's nothing that tells you what the people did, how they did it, why they did it. Nothing at all. There's all these serpents, because they're all scared of serpents. So there's always serpents that greet you, so that you kind of feel afraid of where you are and whatever. So this is like a pyramid that they got right. And there's a lot of pyramids there that they got wrong. They're kind of leaning over a little bit. They're not really perfect. All the angles on the Great Pyramid are perfect. Like everything is perfect. And there are days where the sun can actually just kind of appear right through and right down to the center. So this was a tomb that's at Sakara, which I thought this was and this is the only way I can actually describe this to you. But so this wall is basically flat. This is a flat wall, as this one back here is. Okay. When they shut the lights in there and you flash the flashlight onto the wall, this was meant as a warning to anybody who came in there with their fire to stay away. So this was kind of like a warning to them. You can see the body kind of perfectly here, but you can't see it when the lights are on. This is only something that you can see when the lights
It's
are off.
amazing that, the engineering involved for the time and all this stuff that they did for this, but they counted on superstition
Yeah.
to keep people away.
Well, because they were always so afraid of people robbing the graves, which they did.
They were all robbed.
Most of the people who did the tomb robbing were the people who built the tombs. They were the workers. And that's why most of the workers stayed in the village where they worked, and they weren't really allowed to leave. So they had their children there. Their children then worked at the sites. And the artists who did a lot of the artwork, they were like, well known. It's like, let's bring, Chuck in here to do the art on this guy's tomb. So it was really kind of interesting like that. Okay, there's your Monique. So now this is day 3, 4, whatever. Finally got my luggage. When I was at the Egyptian store, they gave me this stupid free hat, which I wound up leaving behind because I hate hats like that. So anyway, this is Valley of the Kings.
You don't like the Bruno Mars look?
No, I hate it. I really hate it. And I'm sorry that this is the picture I'm showing you. But we were all by ourselves in the Valley of the Kings because it was 106 degrees outside. And again, we insisted to go at like 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning so that we could freely take pictures without a lot of people there.
Jesus.
So this is Ramses II, I think, this is his tomb. And it is fully, just ridiculously painted. And it's just kind of amazing that they always, every single tomb, they always painted stars and blue sky, because they loved the feeling of being able to look up at the night sky and how full of stars it was. So that was like a very, very big deal to them. Okay, let's move on. This is also Ramses. Yes, 2 people, interlopers in my beautiful quiet time. And yeah, and these are all natural colors, just from nature, the blues and all that stuff. And again, they're all the same. They're just kind of like talking about how they're going into the next world and blah, 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 blah,
It's
blah.
like they're Egyptian Banksy.
Kinda. But there's your Monique. So this is in another tomb. I don't even know which one. I gotta be honest with you. I have no idea. But yeah, we were basically, by ourselves.
It's amazing.
It's just crazy. I just loved it. I feel so honored to have been able to see this stuff.
Did
And I
they-
know tons of people are there and they go see this shit, but I
Did
just
they
don't.
use stencils or something? Because it's so repetitive and it's so like just.
It's so repetitive. It's so repetitive. Mo, were the Egyptians black or white? Well, they're not really white people. They're Arab and they're Nubian. And don't forget that, later on when Rome conquered Egypt, they decided they were going to be the king. So Ptolemy onward were all basically, Greeks, Romans, etc. And in order for the people to love them, they decided to keep with the traditions of the old gods. And that's why, they continued on these kind of things. And so it was kind of a kind of a mix. There were one or two people that asked me if I was Middle Eastern. Yes, I will not lie. All right, let's move on. Okay, so then I finally got to, in the Valley of the Kings, I finally got to King Tut's tomb, which is really anticlimactic after you see all the gold and jewelry and everything that is in the museums. But this is his tomb, this is his mummy, and they don't move it because it's so fragile. So they don't really touch it. And it's just like a decrepit old mummy. Whatever. Yeah. Just weird. Okay. This was one of my favorite things I saw. So this is the Temple of Luxor. And I'm gonna put us up for one quick second because I want to find something for you guys to see. Temple. If you guys are bored with this, you can go. But I just thought I'd get it off my chest while I was still. Temple of Luxor. Hundreds. Okay. So I just want to show you something real quick. Just give me a second. Let me see if I can find it. Basically, when they found this temple, Temple of Luxor, old pictures. Okay, check this out. Sorry, guys, bear with me. Okay, here it is. So when they found this temple, this is basically what it looked like. It was covered in sand. It was just, this is like from the 1800s. So it was just old and covered in sand. And they used to take a lot of the brickwork out of there and use it for like building their own houses and stuff like that. And then, so they unearth everything. And here, for perspective, here's people. Here's people. So yeah, these are tremendous. It's just a tremendous sight. It was gorgeous. It was one of my favorite things I saw. Ramses, everything was done for Ramses. Ramses died at like 85 or 90 or something crazy like that. So he reigned for a shitload of time. This is the Temple of Karnak. Okay, now I got to tell you all. So by the time I got to Karnak in Luxor, there was no part of me that wanted to go on a Nile cruise. And so the Nile cruise was like 4 or 5 days. And I was done. In another life, I would have flown to Luxor, which you had to fly to. I would have done the Valley of the Kings, Valley of the Queens, the Temple of Karnak, Temple of Luxor. I would have then flew to Abu Simbel, which I didn't do, but other people that I met along the way had gone there and loved it. And then I would have just flown right back to Cairo and gone on to Jordan. I would never have gone down the Nile. I wouldn't do it again. Okay, this is how crowded it was. So consider that, everywhere I tried to go, I wanted to go while it was still relatively empty. So you see what's going on here. But by the time I got here, this is what every single place looks like. This is the reality of going on a Nile cruise. Do you see this?
Yeah, that's pretty typical for these tourist traps.
This is what it looks like. And it was insane. Okay, this is basically every single stop along the way. So everybody goes to the same places at the same time. It shocks me that they wouldn't stagger their shit and have people go at like the 7 o'clock and whatever.
Money.
Because they did the cruise, and then this is what you get to. Here's me, day 3, and then by day 6 or 7, this is what it looks like. So all the cruise ships go to all the same places at all the same time. It's like going to St. Thomas on a Saturday on a cruise ship. Everybody's there. Everybody freaked out in that crowd. And by the way, Howard, you're such an asshole. I was in these crowds. Clearly, I don't have COVID. I was amongst the unwashed masses for 16 days, and I didn't get COVID, you idiot. Such a jerk. Okay. So then, I don't even know where this was. Obviously, I didn't even fix this picture, or else I would have centered it correctly. I don't know where I was. Sorry. Okay. So then after the cruise, back to Cairo, and we did this thing called Cairo at Night. And this is your Monique at a mosque. It was one of the first ones I had ever been in. I don't even think I've ever been. Have you ever been in a mosque, Xavier?
I have.
Oh, you have? Okay.
I have.
So
in Marrakesh.
You have to take off your shoes, and you have to wear something below your knees. This is one of the dresses I bought for $30 that I wore like the whole time there. And then they give you a little scarf to put on. So it was incredible, because here you are in the middle of downtown dirty Cairo. And this is one of the oldest mosques in Cairo. And it is like this amazing, quiet, reflective place. Lots of kids playing. This isn't like one of the mosques that a lot of people go to visit on like the tour things. And this is what I was craving on this trip, and everybody agreed with me. And so that's kind of how we rolled. And it was fantastic. It's obviously lots of mosques in old Cairo. Oh yeah, that was me getting my my Mendy tattoo, which is just about
Did they
done.
just grab you?
What?
Did they just grab you? That the women and the children usually they just grab you and start writing on your arm and like, oh, you pay.
Well, the tour guide said, don't trust anybody who just comes right up to you. I will get somebody to come here and do it for you. So this cost me, I think like $9, which I loved. I loved having a hand tattoo. I might actually get a little something on the side of my hand now that I'm thinking about it. I kind of dig this. This is also this really old, beautiful mosque that's right in the middle of old Cairo. And then it was on the way to Jordan. Okay. So next day we flew to Jordan, and this is Amman, Jordan. And they call it the White City because what they've started to do there, because it's basically a newer country, and they're only like 100 years old or something like that. And what the edict is that all the new housing that is built there must be white. So it's called the White City. So this is the view from the hotel. And it was just beautiful. 2 thumbs up for Jordan. Oh, and we had sushi that night, which thrilled me to no end because I was really done with hummus and fattoush. This is Jerash. This is some of the oldest and best kept ruins in the world. And it's a huge place. This is like the northern gate. So all of this had collapsed, and they kind of rebuilt it all. So it always makes you wonder if they actually in fact did it right, but who even knows? So yeah, this is Jerash. Huge. Oh, okay. Sorry. Jerash. It was okay. It was like a half a day. And then it was 4.5 hours to go to Wadi Rum. And Wadi Rum is, we all stayed in these little things. And these are like these little geodomes. And it looks like you're on Mars. And Xavier, I got you some sand because the sand was so red. It was so crazy. It was like, it was insane. It was really insane. What?
I'm just reading any pictures of McDonald's in the Valley of the Fast Food.
I would have killed for some McDonald's. And this is what the sky looks like. So when you opened up your geodome, the stars were amazing. And I personally, by myself, and Xavier wasn't too keen on this idea, but I was taken out of this compound and brought to shoot the Milky Way and shoot the stars, it was ridiculous, you guys. And he took some pictures too. And then the group came and with a laser pointer was just pointing out like different things in the night sky. We saw some satellites passing by. We saw a ton of shooting stars. And the Milky Way is really just for you to see. I mean, it's just there. And it was a moonless night. So it was kind of amazing. Okay, then it's on to Petra. So we did something called Petra by Night. And yeah, I would love to do the Northern Lights as well. So Petra by Night is basically the road that leads into Petra is all lit by candle. And it's kind of crazy because I didn't expect that the walk would be, I think it was like 1.6 miles each way to get to the site. And then it's like cool and they play music and whatever. And I have really good pictures, but I didn't put them up for this. That's basically what Petra looks like by night. It's just these crazy ass like temples that are built into the stone in these canyons. I mean, it's really the craziest thing you've ever seen. And, I couldn't really take amazing pictures at night, but the next day was like the big Petra day, right? So it's just like these like cavernous erosion from water over, thousands of years leading into this little town. This is what it looks like during the day. So this is Petra as you're walking to it. And I have a lot of pictures of this. I didn't show them all here, but some of them came out really fantastic. And I just love the grooves in the stone and whatever. And here's Petra. And this is another place where don't let the picture deceive you. It is packed to capacity. There was a shit ton of people here. And it's insanity. But, this is one of those bucket list kind of things, you guys. So people always thought that the people who lived here were hiding their wealth and riches within these temples. So I don't know if you can notice it or not. I can't probably get any closer, but they used to shoot at the pieces, hoping to knock them down so that they could get, they were thinking that like jewels and stuff were built into like this vase up here. They would like shoot at it to try to get to it. And what they've just discovered recently is that this isn't even the first floor. Underneath here, there's about 30 feet more of passageways and stuff like that. And these things were built from the top down. So they started at the top. And if you see here, these are the footholds where they would put the ladders and that they would climb up so that they could build these on either side. How cool is that? Yeah, one of my friends. Okay, so I took a mule back because it was so far and so hot and so disgusting. So we paid like $20 American to ride mules back. And then this line back here, we also paid another $10 American to wait on this line to get a golf cart to take us back to the beginning because it was balls hot. But yeah, this is Petra. It's like super cool. It's really amazing sight to see.
Dope.
Yeah, it's pretty dope. It really is.
And Benjamin, you've been to the Louvre, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, we've seen the Mona Lisa.
Yes. Okay, I really want to read comments. I haven't seen any.
It's been like this one dude keeps like signing in on different profiles and just keep knocking. It's like so much effort for nothing. It's like click.
Okay. Oh, we're almost done. Okay, and then off to the Dead Sea, which is actually dying. And I want you to know that I have done absolutely nothing to this picture. Nothing at all. This is absolutely what it looked like. And Dead Sea is amazing. It's like 35% salination, right? So you just buoyancy is just, you just lift your legs up and you're floating and that's it. And so we did mud baths and then had that washed off and then salt scrubs and had that washed off, and your skin feels like amazing. That's why my tattoo, which I did have, is like eroded because of all the salt and everything. But this is actually going away, because they've mined it so much for the potash, which is apparently what they use. And then right here is the town of the city of Jericho in Israel. So this is Israel right here beyond this. Okay. And then my favorite thing I did, this is called Wadi Mujib. And this is also canyons, but what it is you hike through the water. So you had to hike to this in order to go down the stairs to here, and then you go down a long ass ladder. That's how long it is, all the way down to get to here to start your trek. And
How hot was it?
This day, I think it was about 102. The worst of the days was in Aswan, which is at the end of the Nile tour, and it was 116 degrees. I mean, just offensively hot.
I'm good.
I know. I know.
I mean, it's gorgeous and all, but damn.
Offensively hot. But this was something that I added to my portion of the trip because I really wanted to do this, and I had seen some videos about it, and I love my pictures here. So let me show you a couple of things. So you had to pack everything in like a Ziploc or a wet bag. So you could rent one for like $5. And well, that's why I appreciated doing the water thing, because it was really balls hot. But look at this. Look at this. Look at this.
It's insane. That's so cool.
It's just I have no words. I have no words, you guys. I have no words.
Enjoy the silence.
Yeah. So the water is kind of like up to your ankles, la-di-da, la-la-la. And you're like, oh, this is cool. It's so cute. It's so much fun, whatever. And it starts getting a little deeper. I love this. I might actually even blow some of these up and put some and frame some of these. Okay. And then you get to this. And you're like, holy mother of God. So you have to go up this ladder all the way up to here, and then you have to hold on to the ropes here and then go up this ladder, but you can only lift yourself up onto the rocks by holding on to this rope here to get up and around. It was insane. No joke, insane. I have more pictures of that. Maybe I'll put them up one day. And this was the sunset. I'm at the Dead Sea over Israel. And then this was a picture of flying into Istanbul on the way home. And there was a hurricane coming through on the East Coast. And yeah, so yada, yada, yada. I got home at like 2:00 in the morning. But yeah, this is Istanbul from above. It was kind of cool. I just thought the picture came out good. And that's it. That's all I got. That's my trip. That's my trip. That's what I got. So yeah, that's it. If you're handicapped or very heavy, it is not a place to go. There's no handicap accessibility for anything. And sadly, you would miss out on the best things that there are there, climbing into the pyramids, going to the, going up that water thing and stuff like that. It was a trip of a lifetime. And I am thrilled and excited and happy to have been there. So
that's awesome. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, I thought you'd want to see them too. And so yeah, what would I do differently? Jordan was a 2 thumbs up. Oh, that's what I wanted to share with you guys. So in Jordan, when you go to the airport, it's so weird to be in the airport where all the flights are coming in from like Kuwait and Oman and stuff like that. Yeah, you have to go to the last one. So that's at the Dead Sea in Jordan, and it's called Wadi Mujib. Mujib, I think is what it's called. And it's Wadi, which is river, Wadi, Wadi Mujib. No, I would not go back again. Life is about experiences, right? So it's somewhere I've been already, and now it's done. And you know what? It was 16 days away or whatever it was. And I think I did everything except for Abu Simbel, which I would have loved to have done. And the other thing I didn't do was a balloon ride, which the guys did. And I just wasn't in the mood. So yeah, so Jordan over Egypt. Oh yeah, so anyway, that's what I was going to say. So at the airport, all those dudes, they look like those Saudi Arabian guys. They're all dressed in like these white robes with the things on their heads, and their wives all have like burqas, and all you can see is like this. So I was in the bathroom when we got off the flight, and a ton of women. They also had just gotten off a flight from like Saudi Arabia or something, and this one woman was beautiful, as thin as can possibly be, hair that was like just luscious, that luxurious kind of like
Yes,
Persian
yes,
hair.
yes.
And she had like these green eyes, and she looked very Arab but gorgeous. And she was brushing her hair, and she's brushing away, and then she's in the mirror looking at herself, and she puts the black thing back on her head, and then she takes um the other part, and it actually is almost like a mask, and it goes behind the ears like this. And then all of a sudden she's back in like a full burqa, full. And it's like, Jesus Christ, that's like must be the most amazing thing. I don't know who you are, Brosif, and I don't even know what you're talking about. Hello, Mike 7X on only
He's never been
cause.
kicked. It's the same dude, bro.
Oh,
It's the same dude.
I gave Wednesday show such hype.
He does so much work for 2 clicks.
You're so cute. You don't even have to be here right now. I don't really care.
No, it's okay. It's okay. Someone's trying really hard.
Yeah,
get
Sunflower
daddy's
Dragon. They are
attention.
just people, but you know what? The weird thing is that I never thought that women behind a burqa actually took it off when they could, when it was at all possible to just take it off. That's what they did. So many times I would see so many women doing this. They would just strip all that shit off, like do their hair again and whatever, put their makeup back on, and then just put that shit right back on. So much more so in Jordan than in Cairo. However, okay, oppressive as it may be, every single Muslim that I spoke to said it is not the law, it is not the religion, it's the people. That's what they choose to do. Everybody is still shocked that they allow women in Saudi Arabia to drive now, and they think it's kind of amazing.
Dude, but you do not like they allowed cars to drive before women. Like this, they passed a law where they made self-driving cars legal before women could drive.
Yeah, there were so many beautiful women, Michael. I can't even begin to tell you. And one of the tour guides, his name was Tariq, was telling us that his grandmother still wears that full thing. And again, maybe it's not a burqa. I'm probably saying the wrong thing, but it was made of wool. And she would wear this full burqa thing up to the eyes, made of wool, 110 degrees outside, whatever. Kind of crazy. So yes, that is exactly what it's designed for. It's designed so that no other man looks at your woman. That's pretty much it. As far as food, again, anybody who knows me knows how I feel about food. Hijab. There's a lot of the same stuff. A lot of like hummus and baba ganoush and fatouche and stuff like that. The only time I had to wear my little thing that I bought was when I was at the mosque. And actually, it wasn't even the one I bought. I bought that because it was like really oppressively hot outside. And I felt like such a dick just wearing like a baseball cap all the time. So that's why I bought that. All right. So that's all I got. That's my show. That's it. So, yay. That was a good show and tell, yeah?
Yes. An hour and a half of, almost half a show of no Howard stuff is good. It's a good thing.
I wanted to do a little something like that. I'm I'm tired of
Yes.
Howard. It's so funny when you're away from it for a while, like you've like ripped the Band-Aid off. So to listen to the shows is just like, oh, the only reason I downloaded them is because, so many times I didn't have any service. So I figured that was a good thing to kind of have, because it's a couple of hours that always puts me to sleep. So yeah,
I got to point this out that the troll who's been doing different
yeah.
usernames has a woman profile. So
Okay.
he's
I don't know what you're talking about.
no,
I don't
the
care.
that dude's had like a dozen names banned tonight.
Well, he
Now
obviously loves you.
He's got a chick username.
I'm curious how people get through like that all the time. So yeah, okay. So that's what I could remember off the top of my head about the trip, and I just wanted to get it out there before I forgot it because I didn't write anything down. All the pictures that I showed there and a whole bunch more are on radiogunk.com if you want to go see it. Whatever. Yes, you're exactly right. Whatever it is, it is oppression. Yes. No. Yeah, you're right,
Yeah,
Mike
well,
White.
yeah.
You're gone for 2 weeks. Come home and it's, oh my God, they're asking Ronnie about his wedding, making fun of JD. You missed nothing. Yeah, I know. All right, my friends. Yes, I did buy some trinkets. Actually,
wait, hang on. I have one more thing to say real quick. No, I just wanted to ban that person. Sorry. Just say. I wanted to ban him before we signed off.
I got this little thing that was like handmade in front of me of brass, which I was kind of loving. I didn't really get a lot of stuff. I bought a cartouche that says my name. I got some incense. I got some frankincense and myrrh. I did not buy a fez. When I finally saw that, because it was so funny on the website, and I was like, damn it, I should have bought a fez. I saw a bunch of them. Yeah, they're coming after you now, so it's time to go.
It's okay. It's okay.
It's time to go.
We can hang on.
No, I didn't buy a hookah. They're tremendous. Who's going to take that shit?
Yeah,
with them
hookahs
anywhere?
are huge.
That's all I bought. Oh, I bought a piece in like a turquoise alabaster, a mortar and pestle, for crushing herbs, and yeah, that's it. And lots of pictures. I like having good memories, and I did buy a couple of things for all about the tendrils or whatever his name is, because he's the one person that correctly guessed that I was going to Egypt. So I got him a array of silliness. That's all, just an array of silly. Oh, and at Jerash, that Roman place, the tour guide was showing us how so much stuff is still compressed, and it was this whole area that had all this like pottery, like crushed pottery, between the sand. And I was like, can I take a couple of those pieces? He's like, yeah, go ahead, take a couple of pieces. So I have like this thin pottery from like Roman times that I brought home. So yeah, that's kind of cool. I don't know where it is. I'm sure it's in one of my stupid bags that I still haven't done anything with.
Did your luggage show up on the way back?
My luggage? Well, yeah, only because the flight was late going out because of the stupid hurricane. Mo, what was the price tag thereabouts for the whole trip, if you would? Not including airfare, I think it was about $4,800, not including airfare. So if you tie that in, it was probably about, I hate talking about money with you guys because I always get shit for it. So whatever. So somewhere around there. But I've been paying this off since like last November. So yeah, whatever.
Yay.
That's it. Wow.
I must have.
All right.
You know what's funny? Every time I ban someone, it's like finding $5 in your couch cushions. That's how it makes me feel. Like, oh, this is a pleasant surprise.
I know, and
So
any
much-
show
so- I love it. I love that I'm in someone's head rent free, and they're creating like dozens and dozens.
well, what's so
of profiles.
cute is that it's not like it's anything new, and we all know you don't care.
It's all good. It's all good. Like I said, it's $5 in the couch cushions.
What,
Thank you.
Jared? Vibe and pyramid. You know what? The pyramids are a really weird energy kind of thing, and I don't even know how to articulate it to you. I really don't. so much more so in the pyramids than at like all these temples and everything. Really, it's just really you feel like this like weird energy inside of you. And I know people say that all the time, and it sounds stupid, but it's really true. So, yeah, no, I didn't become enlightened. I was sweating like a pack mule. I had no clothing. I was freaking out. If I could only show you the underwear that I had to purchase at the Egyptian store. I mean,
Available at our Patreon.
it literally like it came up to my tits. It's just like, I'm not wearing,
like granny panties?
I'm like, I'm not wearing this. I was like, I can't believe you people wear this. Like, I cannot believe you wear this. And so
Gotta do what you gotta do.
I rolled them down. I had to like roll them down to my hips because I was like, there's no way I'm wearing this. I should have taken a picture. It would have been very funny, but yeah, whatever. All right, that's it. So yeah, so it was a lot of trip. It was. I will tell you that in Jordan, I stayed at 2 really amazing places because they were really good rates there. One was called the Kempinski Hotel, and the other one was called the shit. I'm gonna have to tell you. Yeah, what they were, Bloomers. Hold on. See, we got an app that shows you like your entire itinerary and where you're going to be and stuff like that. I just want to tell you where I stayed because it was really the most beautiful hotel I think I've ever been in my life. It was called the Fairmont Amman. Fairmont. It was stunning. It smelled so good. It was beautiful. It's better than anything ever.
Blah blah bloomers.
Blah blah bloomers. Yeah, you would have died, you guys. I can't believe they wear that stuff. Okay, so we are now going to leave you. And
wait, one more thing. Hang on.
Yes, babe.
You beat me to it.
I beat you to it.
Damn it! You robbed me of that one.
I robbed you of your joy. I know. I'm sorry.
This is like that one Simpsons episode where I'm just kidding.
Okay,
that's
stop
what
it.
that dude kept. It's funny. He's accused me of repeating something that I've hardly ever said. Yeah, he said it like 30 times today.
I know. Can I just tell you
Good on you, bro. Good on you, bro.
There's one guy that emails me constantly saying, I hate him. Why do you keep doing this?
Oh, hang on. One more. Let's see if you can do this quick. Damn it. Come on, scroll. Oh, damn, there's a little like, what should I call it in front of it? Here we go. There you go. Oh, $5
right.
cash.
$5. Okay, so guys, we'll see you on Monday. And
yeah.
That's all I got. Look, that's all that's left of my
Can we do this for another 20 minutes? This is fun.
No, we're not going to do it for another 20
on.
minutes. I'm tired now.
This dude probably has like 20 more profiles that he's yet to burn through.
I've got to go to
How many times has this guy gone to his phone to get to, I forgot my password, send me a text? Tonight. Thank you. Whoever you are, thank you.
Stop
that was
yelling.
very entertaining.
Stop yelling. I am glad I'm back too, John Doe. I really, really am. So thank you for indulging me and allowing me to share this with you. And yeah, so I'm going to go pick up my doggy tomorrow and just love on him all day long. And that's...
Hey, before we go, tell them the story about Miter.
I'm absolutely not doing that. Hey guys, thanks for hanging with us tonight. Please join us for any further discussion at radiogunk.com in the forum section. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Radio Gunk. And don't forget to like this and subscribe to us and hit that little bell so you know when we're doing a new show. Thanks.